Hi, I'm Samantha Hartley, and this is the Profitable Joyful Consulting Podcast. Today I wanted to talk to you about making $100,000 offers and even $800,000 ones. I live in the world of internet marketing and also consulting, and so I'm torn sometimes between what is considered to be high-ticket offers. In internet marketing, anything over $5,000 is high ticket, whereas for consultants, plenty of my clients are making $100,000 offers and more. And even $800,000 engagements are not uncommon. And the interesting thing about the $800,000 one was that I felt it was dramatically underpriced. She was doing amazing work for that. People will come up to me and say, "What did your client do for them for $800,000? And I'm like, well, they solved a problem that was a much, much higher value. If somebody has a multi-million-dollar problem, then paying a consultant $800,000 to fix it is not a lot of money. So I felt she could have charged them way more. But you really need to be able to fully stand in the value of what you're charging. And this isn't about just coming up with some high number and throwing that out. It's about really feeling that you're embodying that value. So that's what I want to do with you. I want to do an exercise to see if you can expand your capacity to receive. Expand your capacity to deliver more and more of your gifts to your clients. Make more impact. So the way I want to do that is for you to imagine that you are working with a perfect client. This can be one that you've already worked with in the past, you're working with now, or maybe it's someone you're dreaming of working with. And let's say that you decided to offer them a very special package. Can't buy it on the menu. It's a very special package just for them. And if you imagine that perfect client, and if you were to do for them something for which they would pay you, I'm going to say $100,000. And 100 doesn't need to be your number. If you already are charging in the $100,000 and $200,000 range, you can say it's a $500,000 package. It can be your $1 million offer, whatever it is, but it needs to feel not out of the realm of possibility, but not really close to where you are right now. So significantly more than you're charging, but not a completely crazy, unlikely number. So choose that number for yourself. If $100,000 feels like it would be possible to charge that, well then go ahead and let's select something like that, or the closest thing that you can get to that. So for me, I might work with a $500,000 number. Let's see what that would be. And so let's say for that perfect client, you're going to do something for them, and the fee is going to be $500,000. What would you do for that client? If you think expansively, if you think about all of the value that you could bring to them and the kind of problems that you're typically solving for your clients, or if you're helping them to achieve things that have always been out of their reach, but with your help, they could actually achieve. Think ahead to not what they necessarily need right now, but what they may need once they become more aware of their potential, what's possible for them. If they were to pay you this, and you were to do for them something that would be suitable for this, what would that be? So what might you do for them? Who else might you bring in? Where might you take them? Would this be an experiential kind of thing where you take them to certain places so they have certain experiences? Would you bring certain people in, certain other experts who could do things for them? What might you experience with them? How might you transform them? What do you notice as you go through this? I've done this before with a client, and she immediately began to dream so big that she was moved to tears by what would be possible if she were doing everything she could possibly do for the clients. Well, then nothing would be off the table. There would be travel, there would be these unique, unforgettable experiences that would open up her clients to all kinds of possibilities. If you're doing this for an organization, what could you do for that organization? So as you think about what those things are, and I really want you to spend time with this, either now or later, notice what comes up for you. Notice where you feel expanded, like there's new possibilities, and you have all of these gifts that perhaps you have never brought to your work with clients. Perhaps you have access to other resources that you've never brought forward. Those are all of the tools and resources that are available to you when you're thinking at a $100,000, $500,000, or $800,000 level. Why would you deny that to your clients now? Well, maybe because we're not charging those kinds of numbers right now. So how can you close the gap between those kinds of numbers and where you are now? So it's not just about numbers. I want to make sure that we know this isn't just about charging more. A lot of times the way that we measure impact, not the only way, but a way to measure the impact that we make on our clients is through our revenues. When you are making the biggest impact you can make on your clients, you're not just changing the lives of the people that you're working with, but you also impact those around them and their community and maybe even the world. So working at your highest level, working at the level for which you might charge what seems an outrageous amount of money, could help you to make a life-changing, a world-changing impact. What I find very often is that people are stuck in a small habit. They're charging too little. They're doing too little. They could do much more. They could access way more of their gifts. They could work with clients who were bigger, who thought bigger. So all of this smallness, small fees, small clients, small-minded, small packages, can you reduce your price? All of that pushes them down into being less and less, and their impact is smaller. So when people come to me, the first thing that I'll do is look at whether that is a consistent pattern for them and what we can do to open that up so that they are bigger, this expanded self, accessing more of their gifts and talents, accessing more of your awareness of your gifts so that you can actually improve your ability to transform. That is what I believe this exercise does. It brings us into touch with, well, if money were no object, well, if I were being paid an amount of money that would allow me to do anything I wanted in service to transforming the client, then here's what I would do. So that's all of the ways we can think about that for creating our offers. And now you can bring those back into your real business. Let's bring them back into reality and say, how far could I actually go right now? How much more can I bring forward to serve my clients? Many times when someone comes to me and says, I have a $500,000 a year business and I want to hit $1 million, then what I'll say to them is, oh, can you do that with a single client? And here's why I say that, because if you've gotten to 500,000 by doing $25,000 engagements, that's a lot of new clients to add. So if you want to do that in $25,000 at a time, then you got to add 20 clients, and that's going to be a lot. What if you could do it in fewer? So I'll often ask the question, can you do it in a single 500K client? Usually people say, oh my gosh, no, of course not. Okay, and you might not want to. That might be too many eggs in one basket. So could you do it in two 250s? Maybe. How about 4 125s? Well, suddenly it's like a little more possible. So if you were doing this thought experiment with me and you'd had a $25,000 regular engagement that you do, but you did an experiment in which you offered a $125,000 one, how did that differ from your $25,000 one? And could you add 4 clients who were like that? Maybe you could add 5 at 100. But do you see how it's easier on your business? Like, you can go find 5 clients. That's much easier than going to find 20. So what I'm looking for you to be able to do is to make a huge impact, to create transformational results for your clients, and also to work with the fewest number of clients necessary to achieve this. That to me makes this a simpler consultancy. It makes it easier for you, and you deliver bigger and better results. It's just an offer. I'm just offering you the idea. It's just a thought experiment. So if it's more joyful for you to work with many, many, many clients on slightly smaller engagements, then that's fine. But I want you to know that it's not only possible to do it this way, to work on very high ticket, $100,000 to $800,000 engagements, transformational engagements with perfect clients whom you would really enjoy, doing this transformational work, bringing all of your gifts forward. I have tons of clients who are doing this. You'll know tons of consultants who are doing this. It gives you a lot more balance in your life. The business isn't running you. You can have a lot of ease and flow. So that is what's possible for you. And to me, when we do this meditation, when we do this imagination experiment, we experience what that might feel like. How did it feel when you were considering what you might offer your clients? And when you were thinking of yourself doing those things, where was the joy in that for you? Maybe it surprised you. Maybe it wasn't where it was obvious. And maybe part of it isn't necessarily joyful. But what parts of that can you take away and bring into your real business? What results do you see yourself achieving for your clients at these much larger numbers? I had a client who was struggling to sell in a $22,000 training. And when I said, well, all right, well, let's just take off the thing that you're offering, your $22,000 offer, and just look at what the client needs. What if the client were to pay you, I don't know, something crazy like $100,000? And what would you do for them? And she suddenly had all of these ideas. Like, the training was a component about it, but I would do this and this and this. And I was like, see, there's your genius. There's your strategy coming forward. There's you knowing, if I weren't confined to this $22,000 offer, if I weren't constrained by this low price, then I would have ideas about how to make a bigger, better impact. That's what I'm looking for you to do. So if you're looking to create more impact and add, a big chunk of revenue to your business, move from 6 to 7 figures, then looking at it this way is, to me, a simpler and more in the flow way to do so than trying to stack $25,000 engagements on top of one another until you reach your ultimate number. Start at the top, decide how few clients and how large of engagements you could do for them, and make a plan to go get 4 or 5 new clients. I hope today's exercise has been useful for you and expansive. And if you need any help putting this into practice in your business, feel free to contact me. I'm Samantha Hartley, wishing you a profitable and joyful consultancy. Thanks for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to get video updates. Thanks.